What if I told you some cars were so ugly? They became famous just because people couldn't stop making fun of them. Today, we're counting down the top 5 ugliest cars ever made. These cars were supposed to be futuristic, practical, or stylish, but instead, they ended up looking absolutely ridiculous. And trust me, by the time we get to number 1, you're going to wonder how anyone approved that design. Number 5. The Nissan Cube. The Nissan Cube is one of those cars that makes you do a double take because it looks less like a car and more like somebody stretched out a tiny box and added wheels. The design was supposed to feel modern and unique, especially in Japan where compact cars are super popular. But outside of Japan, people mostly thought it looked strange. The weird asymmetrical rear window made it look unfinished, and the tall boxy shape gave it the appearance of a rolling refrigerator. What makes the Cube even funnier is that Nissan actually wanted this car to look relaxing and comfortable, almost like a mobile living room. And honestly, from the inside, it wasn't bad. It had a lot of space and a smooth ride. But from the outside, it looked like the kind of car a Minecraft character would drive. Even today, whenever people see one on the road, they either love it or laugh at it instantly. Number 4. The Fiat Multipla. Now this car is on another level. The Fiat Multipla is often called one of the ugliest cars ever designed, and one look at it explains why. It had this bizarre 2-layer front end where the headlights were split between the hood and the bumper, making it look like the car had 2 faces stacked on top of each other. The craziest part is that Fiat actually designed the Multipla to be practical for families. It could seat 6 people comfortably, which was impressive for its size. But no matter how useful it was, nobody could get past the design. It looked like somebody inflated a normal car with an air pump and forgot to stop. Car magazines roasted it for years, and it became the internet's favorite example of terrible car design. Still, there's something weirdly iconic about it. It's so ugly that people almost respect it for being different. Almost. Number 3. The Pontiac Aztek. The Pontiac Aztek is basically the king of ugly SUVs. When it first came out in the early 2000s, people absolutely hated it. The front looked messy, the back looked awkward, and the entire car seemed like it was designed by committee, where everyone had different ideas and nobody agreed on anything. Pontiac tried to market the Aztek as a cool adventure vehicle for young people. It even came with camping accessories and a built-in tent option. Sounds awesome, right? The problem was, nobody wanted to camp in something that looked like a plastic spaceship from a low-budget sci-fi movie. But years later, something unexpected happened. The Aztek became famous because of the TV show Breaking Bad. Walter White drove one, and suddenly, the car became iconic in pop culture. People still think it's ugly, but now it has this strange, legendary status online. It went from being mocked to becoming one of the most recognizable ugly cars ever. Number 2. The SsangYong Rodius. The SsangYong Rodius looks like a minivan that got stung by bees. Seriously, this thing is massive, awkward, and confusing from every angle. The front looks normal enough, but then you get to the back and it suddenly transforms into what looks like a giant boat attached to a van. The company claimed the design was inspired by luxury yachts, but most people thought it looked more like a failed science project. The roofline rises in such a strange way that it almost feels like the car has a second floor. It's one of those vehicles where the more you stare at it, the worse it gets. What's crazy is that the Rodius was actually very practical. It had tons of space, comfortable seats, and could carry a lot of passengers. But people just couldn't ignore how weird it looked. It became famous online as one of the strangest vehicle designs ever created. And now, number 1. Number 1. The AMC Pacer. The AMC Pacer looks like somebody tried to build a car entirely out of bubbles. Released in the 1970s, this thing was meant to represent the future of driving. Instead, it ended up looking like a giant fishbowl rolling down the street. The windows were enormous, the body was incredibly round, and the proportions made absolutely no sense. It looked too short, too wide and too tall all at the same time. Some people joked that it looked like a helmet with wheels attached. But here's the funny part. Back then, AMC genuinely believed the Pacer was revolutionary. They thought people would love the futuristic styling and spacious interior. Instead, the car quickly became a joke in the automotive world. Even decades later, the Pacer still appears on lists of the ugliest cars ever made. At the same time, though, it became weirdly lovable. It's so ugly that it somehow circles back around to being memorable. You see one once, and you never forget it. So, what do you think? Which one of these cars is the ugliest of all time? Or did I miss an even worse one? Let me know in the comments. And if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and comment what I should do next.